Please don't worry about that. Got a very small channel and it's just about promoting the school. Okay, I'm going to start the recording now. If you're new to SET, remember, if you cannot speak, especially in a speaking class, tell us now, please, at the start of the class. Don't wait to the middle of the class. This is a live, interactive class. If I say your name, if I speak to you, you should be replying. You can't just go and make a cup of tea or whatever, unless you tell me now. Okay, so please, guys, let me know in the chat like this. Just say, oh, I can't talk today, something like that. So Jello, not speaking today. No worries, Jello. Anyone else not talking today? It's totally fine, but you should let me know now. This is a serious class. Akua, thank you, Akua. Anyone else not speaking today? All right, let's get started with this class then, guys. I love relationship building. It's a very important skill in speaking. I'm going to start the class now. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Class is starting now. Okay, so this is OET speaking. We're looking to this week at relationship building. And just like every week, what we do is on Monday, we focus just on what does OET say about this topic. What do they want to see? Okay, so we can understand all of the things that OET say they want in the exam. Today is really just about understanding. We're not going to be doing any practicing today. Okay, but tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you can practice cue cards focusing on relationship building. That's what we're trying to do this week. So the first thing I need to do now is to share my screen, and hopefully you guys will see my document. Does everyone see the speaking document? What can you guys see right now?
What is it? What do it say?
What is it? What
does it say here? What does this say?
Common errors.
Common errors. Thank you, Reem. I've had a few technical difficulties today, so you guys can see this. Okay. So we're going to start off with what is it? Then we're going to look at what do OET say? What's the criteria? And then we're going to look at common errors. So today, guys, relationship building. All right. Let's get started then. I'm going to start by asking Ahmet. Can you say hello, sir?
Hello, sir.
What is relationship building? Do you have an idea of what this is?
Relationship building. I don't know actually.
Perfect. So that helps me because now I can think about what I'm going to say. Let's get one of the other students to explain it. Maybe Asli. Could you explain it to Ahmet? What is relationship building, Asli?
Okay. It's one of the OET criteria.
That's a great answer. It is. Criteria.
It includes such phrases like empathy, non-judgments, and respectful, being respectful. And it includes also 4 category, I think. For example, greeting and introduction, the patient first, and then being respectful to the patient and being non-judgmental and making empathy.
Wow, what an amazing definition. That's got to be one of the best definitions I've ever heard. Thank you so much. What I love about that is she started with criteria, right? Of course, we are not doing general English, and we're not here just to learn English in general. We're here to pass an exam. And the key thing about this is part of the criteria. Now, what does criteria mean? Ada, maybe you can tell me what criteria means.
Hi, Alvin. Criteria is like necessary step.
Yes and no. Not all of them are necessary, actually.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't need to do it, but can anyone help her? What does criteria mean, guys? Criteria equals
Scoring system.
Scoring system.
The scoring system, yeah.
This is what I said. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
It's the way they score you. So they're going to give you a number. 1, 2, 3. Out of 3, actually. It's out of 3. 0 to 3. For this thing, relationship building. All right. What is it really? It's meaning, well, it includes things like empathy. That's probably a key one. Not judging, being respectful. Okay. So we have a really good start to this class. Fantastic. Now, let's think about OET. So OET, Barak.
Hello.
How many relationship building criteria are there?
It must 4 or 5.
What do we think, guys? Is she right? Is it 4 or 5? I feel like it's a bit. It's not 5.
4.
Okay, 4.
Is it 4, Khaled? Do you think 4?
Yes.
Okay, Khaled. What is the first one?
Initiating the conversation with the patient, the relation, starting a nice introduction, like for example, do we know the patient or not? So according to that, we start the conversation and appropriately, like.
I think he's right, guys. Look, so there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the first one is initiating the interaction appropriately. When did we study this? Andrea, BB, did we study this already? Recently? A1?
Last week.
Of course, we did it last week, right? So we always break off A1. We did this last week. What does it mean, initiating the interaction? Guys, what is it?
Introduce yourself.
Introduction.
Okay. So we did this last week already. And that means this week we will not look at this. Okay, so we're not going to focus on this one this week because we already did it. This week we're going to focus on A2, A3, and A4. And maybe Shahjahan, can you say hello?
Yes, sir.
Could you read A2 to us, please? What does it say?
Hello.
Hello. What does A2 say, please?
Demonstrating an attentive and respectful attitude.
Very nice.
We show the attentiveness. Hello.
It's okay. That's it. You can. That's all I need. So we have respectful. She was right, guys. She got it right. Right. So respectful is here.
Yes, sir.
What about A3, Shahjahan?
We show the sympathy and active listening.
A3, Shahjahan. What does it say? Adopting.
Non-judgmental, because don't use the words non-judgmental, don't judge the patients.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, who gave me this definition again? Who gave me this? Really, really good. Who said this? She's exactly right. Anyway, A4. Empathy.
Showing empathy for.
So the person who gave me that definition, one of you guys, absolutely brilliant definition of this. Okay. But today, what I want to do is I want to summarize this. I want to make this more simple. Do you guys think that you can remember all of this in the exam?
No.
Do you honestly believe that all this can be remembered at the same time as speaking?
No.
No.
Of course. So what we need to do is reduce it down, try and make it as simple as possible, and then focus on the most important things. All right? Some of these here are more important than others. All right? So let's start by reducing it down. Let's start by summarizing. Khaled, what does summarizing mean? What does summarize?
Summarizing means general idea we discussed today in the class.
You mean main idea?
Making it reduce it to the more shorter, like, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, I want to reduce this now to something really, really simple and give you examples of the language as well. And then this week you can use that to practice. All right. So this is what we call wordy. Does anyone know what that means? Too wordy. Wordy, an adjective. Does anyone here know what wordy means?
verbose,
Verbose.
Too much word.
Verbose.
Talkative.
Too many words.
Too many words. You can't remember it. We need to summarize. We need to reduce it down to something very clear. Okay. So let's do that. The first one, Rima, she's going to reduce it down to something very simple, demonstrating an attentive and respectful attitude. Rima, what are the most important things we need here?
Show respect.
Show
Yes.
respect.
Mhm.
So, is everyone happy with this? I think this is probably very good, actually. Show respect. What do you think, guys? Correct? Everyone?
Yes. Yeah, that's correct.
To demonstrate is to show, isn't it? And it's a shorter word, it's more simple. Okay. A1 is, we said before, A1 is,
Greeting.
introducing. Okay. So A1 is introducing, and we did this already last week. You can watch the videos from last week. A2 is showing respect. Okay. And I suppose, Rima, maybe attention.
Yes.
What does attention mean?
active listening,
Yeah. Okay.
Like you're paying attention to them, you're watching them, you're focusing on them. Okay.
Pretending.
Yeah. In fact, Fareed, can you do number 3? Adopting a non-judgmental approach. What does that mean? Can you
Adopting
summarize?
non-judgmental. I mean, we should not give something which is judgmental. I mean,
So-
like someone is smoking.
Should we say no
and-
judging?
Yes, like so if someone is smoking and I say came into my clinic and right away, why you are smoking like this? And
Why
it's
are you
going to,
smoking? It's so
Yes.
bad. Yeah.
and you will give the cancer, you know.
Yeah. So this would be judgmental. Judgmental means, guys, what does judgmental mean?
Like, for example, this cancer is due to your smoking habit. So we can say, we cannot say like that. We can say it in other words that don't be judge the patient.
But what does it mean? That was the question. Naz, can you say hello? Or Nozad Pfizer? Iman, what does it mean to judge someone? To judge them. Maxime, do you have the definition here?
Rebuttal.
Argumenting.
To blame the patient.
Blaming.
Blaming, yes.
Blaming.
Any
Thank
bad habits.
That's such a good synonym there, Maxime. Thank you, sir. So, guys, we want to show respect. What does that mean, actually? Respect.
Permission, maybe.
No. What is
No.
Anyone? Respect.
Being kind.
Kindness. What does respect mean?
For example, asking permission, I think, for example, in some places that would be a respect.
Carefully.
Yeah.
Giving value to the patient.
Thank you, sir. Say that again. Value.
Yeah, value.
Value of the patient, right? Show them that their value, their importance. Okay. Attention, Rima, means. Guys, attention is
Active listening. Okay.
Yeah.
let's say listening. Okay.
Patient-centered.
Carefully listening.
Yeah. So guys, look, we want to show, I'm going to make this really simple. We need respect, which means value. We need attention, which is like listen to them and show that you're listening to them. Don't blame them. Don't judge them. Okay. What's the last one? I'm going to ask Pfizer or Charles or Busra, if you want to try. Can you summarize? Make this much smaller. This is too wordy. I hate it. What does it mean? Show empathy for feelings, predicament, emotional state, blah, blah, blah. What does it mean? One word, guys. Everyone, one word.
Emotional state.
Empathy.
Empathetic.
So now we have something much more simple. We have respect, which means value. Okay, respect means value. Remember that, guys. We have attention, which means listening. We have no judging, so no blaming. And we have empathy. Okay. One of these is much more difficult than the rest. Jasmine, do you know which is the most difficult here?
Think empathy.
Yeah, it's empathy, right? It's very, very difficult, the empathy. What about showing respect? Rima, is this hard to show respect?
No.
It's like, Rima, when you go in the exam, don't insult the patient. Is that okay? Do you think you can do that?
Yeah.
Can you not insult the patient, Rima? I think we can all probably do that, right?
Mhm.
We're all nurses and doctors here. We know, obviously, there are some cultural things you need to be very careful about. But in general, you're probably going to be okay with this. How can I show respect? Rima, how can I do it?
Can I ask some question if you don't mind? Maybe I
Ask
can-
permission.
Yeah,
That's
ask
valid.
permission.
That's respect. Guys, how can I show that I'm listening to them? How can I show that I'm listening to them?
Nodding,
No,
speaking,
active
like.
listening.
Yeah, nodding, you're nodding head. What else?
Echoing,
So,
echoing, maybe.
echoing some words,
Mhm.
you can repeat words they say. But guys, these kind of noises of I see, all right, okay.
Non-verbal.
Non-verbally things. We've got to just show them that we're listening. How can we show that we're not judging? Again, it's easy. Don't be so. Don't blame them, right? Don't blame. Do not blame. Be polite. In English, do we say I want or do we say can I have? In English,
Can
you
I
say,
have?
want a coffee or can I have a coffee?
Can I have?
Can I have?
Can I have or may I have? Right? It's the same in OET. Just don't be too direct. Okay? Do not be too direct with your opinions. Okay? I'm not going to focus on that today. I always focus on A4 because this is the one that's the most important. Okay? How can we show empathy? And I'm going to ask Iman or Lucinda or Zainab. This is a really hard one now, guys.
I will show empathy. So basically, we show that we understand and we what they are feeling.
So how do I do that?
I'm sorry to hear that.
You say things like, sorry to hear that. What if they say, Lucinda, my wife just died? Are you just going to say, I'm sorry to hear that?
No, because it's more serious. So basically, in empathy, we need to be aware that there is simple empathy and there is more strong or
Yeah, let's call it normal and strong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, today I'll give you examples and we can learn this in more detail. There's normal empathy, there's strong empathy. Is there anything else we need to remember about empathy?
And also reassuring the patient, for example, saying that I will be with you, we will try our best.
Yeah, so reassurance is not empathy, but it is needed. Yeah. So we can talk about reassurance.
Sympathy.
Sympathy is also a good one. Okay, guys, let me teach you
empathy. I am sorry to hear that.
Exactly. Now, guys, in order to teach empathy, we actually need to make another diagram because it's complicated. Okay, so I'm going to make a diagram now. Oops. And I'm going to, first thing we need to do is divide normal and strong empathy. Okay. And I want someone to give me an example of a strong empathy phrase. Maybe Rima or Rishmi.
Yes.
Give an example of a strong empathy phrase that we might use.
I am really, really sorry to hear that.
That's a good one. Okay, so I am really, really sorry to hear that. Any more? Did anyone else? Let me try.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. This is very good. So using things like really, really.
I cannot imagine.
Thank you, Bibi. I can only imagine what
you must be going through.
You're going through.
Be going through. So this is the classic phrase that we use with strong empathy. I can only imagine what you must be going through. Can I say this, guys? I can imagine what you must be going through. Rima, can I say that?
No.
Why not? Why is that
normal.
What's the difference between everyone? What's the difference?
Just only.
Only like first is
So
only.
I need guys, this one is so important. We got to say only.
Yes.
If you don't say only, it is
normal.
It's insulting.
Like I understand that it's okay.
It's like saying, yeah, it's a normal thing that everyone goes through.
Mm.
So guys, we do not want to say I can imagine. We want to say I can only imagine. Is there another one that we can say? Let me ask Mohammed or Najibullah or Jasmine. Dr. Habib?
It must be difficult for.
Well, can I say I can't?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't
Well,
imagine.
can I say I can't imagine?
How hard.
Yeah,
It
you
would
can say
be-
how hard this situation is for you. Najibullah, can't imagine. Is that okay?
I can't imagine how hard this.
It's
Yeah.
okay, right? But can
Yeah.
imagine, that's bad. Okay, so remember,
Yeah.
guys, it's a very common error. I've heard many students, okay? These are the phrases you need for strong empathy. What about normal empathy? Iman, Jasmine, Omi, could you say hello? Ya, welcome, Ya.
Sorry to hear that. Yes.
The classic. Who said that? Who was that?
Sorry
Jasmine,
to hear
I'm
that.
sorry to hear that. This is a classic OET phrase. Everyone says this, and because it's a great phrase, I'm sorry to hear that. Susmita, do you know any more? Lucinda, do you know any other ones? Normal ones?
That must be difficult.
So that must be. Now, is it always difficult?
Stressful, maybe.
You could say difficult,
Complicated.
Hard.
Stressful.
There's many things you can say, yeah. Right? What type of word is it?
Adjective.
Adjective stress.
That must be sad for you. That must be difficult for you. That must be hard for you.
Challenging.
Challenging. Stressful is a good one because maybe they're telling you about not an injury, but maybe they're telling you about stress. Okay, Zeynep, can you say hello? Chidem, can you say hello?
No.
I'm sorry to hear that. That must be blank for you. Anything else?
What about that? For example, if you say, I know you are in a bad or in a difficult situation, condition.
You could say, I
I know you are.
Yeah. Or how about I understand?
Yeah.
I understand that. And then we can add in blank here. What's going to go in here, guys? I understand that you
Are
guys?
suffering from the mild, for example,
Subject
asthma.
You will pass or you will go through.
Well, we have the subject already, Rima. It can be anything, guys. It can be the situation, right?
Condition.
So, for example, Rima, I could say, I understand that you have been having really painful headaches. Or,
Is that not judgmental?
no, I understand that. They might say, oh, I've not been sleeping and I've got lots of pain. You say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I can understand that you are in a lot of pain. So you're kind of repeating back to them. You can change it. You can add in extra things. Okay, someone's got a hand up for a question, so I'll take a question. Ada, do you have a question here?
No, not question actually. I was going to give an example for normal
Okay, cool.
empathy.
Please do. Go on.
That's quite understandable.
Yeah, that's another one. So I really like that one because it sounds very UK. It sounds very English. Okay, so that's quite understandable. Oops, can't spell anything today. Anyone else got any other ideas? What else can we say? Standable.
Yes, sir. Can we use like its place of sadness to hear that about you?
Say that again. What of sadness?
Yeah, it's place of sadness to hear that.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. It's place of sadness. Your pronunciation's strange. Of sadness. It's place of? I would say no. That doesn't. Put it in the chat box so I can read what you're saying, but I'm thinking no. I'm sorry to hear that. There must be blank for you. I understand that this is a very difficult situation. Hard. These are the three main ones, guys. You don't need a lot, actually. You don't need to have 10. These are good. Okay. Now, I want to teach you something else. Okay. So for strong, we can use things like really, really, so, and very, very. What do we call these? Does anyone know the name of these?
Intensifiers.
Yeah, intensifiers. Okay. Now, Andre, are you there? Ahmet?
Yes, Alan, I'm here.
Can I say that's quite really, really understandable?
That's quite now. That will become too much tense, I think.
Can I say I really, really understand that? Does that sound right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Can I say that must be really, really difficult for you? Yes.
It's a bit noisy here. I'm sorry.
Okay. Can I, guys, everyone here, can I say I'm really, really sorry to hear that?
No, it's not a bereavement, it's a normal empathy.
Yes, we can say.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
So these two phrases from normal, these normal phrases, okay, should be used, can be used as strong empathy. Okay, I'm really, really sorry. I'm so, so sorry. Okay. By the way, what's the difference? What kind of situations would be normal empathy? Let me test one of you. Eda, Dr. Habib, what kind of situations when would we use this? When do we use these? What do I mean by normal? Lucinda, can you help her? Khalid, Najibullah, Rima?
For example, patient is suffering.
Condition.
Headache, maybe.
A situation, Najibullah?
Here is the situation is not serious. It is
That is
normal.
not serious. Give me an example. Rima, Khalid, like
it has
Headache, fatigue,
Headaches,
maybe.
fatigue, or patient is like a mild pain.
They were like fatigue.
Cold.
Knee pain.
Okay, Farid, serious situations. A situation that is
Mother died.
death, right? Life and death.
Depression.
Guys, for example, what?
Cancer.
Mother died.
Mother,
Mother.
diabetes, like
Diabetes, even though it's not life and death now, I would say, yeah, diabetes can be very, very serious. As you
heart attack, like heart attack.
So, guys, a key point of empathy, a very important thing is that when you do the test, you can lose a lot of marks if you use the wrong one. Okay? If it's cancer diagnosis, bad prognosis, don't say that's quite understandable, right? Of course. Don't say I understand. Don't use the normal phrases for serious situations. Okay? So that's a mistake that students often make. They often use the wrong type. Another common error is repetition. Okay? So let me give you an example of this. Lucinda, can you be my patient?
Yes.
Guys, listen to this and tell me, is this good or bad? Okay, so Lucinda, let's imagine you have a headache. Okay?
Okay.
I'm the doctor, guys. Listen to me. So, Lucinda, can you tell me a little bit more about your symptoms, please?
Well, yes, doctor. I've been feeling a headache for the past 5 days, and thank you, doctor. And I feel like it's getting worse.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me a bit more about your symptoms?
Well, yes, I feel a bit dizzy sometimes.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, yes. Also, sometimes I feel some. I struggle with my vision.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, guys, how does that sound to you? I know you know what's wrong, but how does that actually make you feel?
Memorize phrases.
Yes, it's
Repetition.
Memorized phrases. It's memorized phrases. There's no empathy. It's just the same phrase all the time. We can't do that. Okay. So how do we avoid that? Well, you can change it each time, right? So I can say, Lucinda, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that must be difficult for you. Or I understand that you're in a lot of pain, right, guys? So I can just change them. Is there something else I can do? How can I avoid repetition? Is there another way to avoid repetition?
That sounds difficult, maybe.
Is there a way that I can use these together?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I call this, guys, combining. So sometimes when I'm doing a mock test, what I'll say, Lucinda, can we do this again? So Lucinda,
Yes.
how are you feeling today?
Well, doctor, I'm a bit concerned due to my symptoms.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. That must be difficult for you. Can you tell me a bit more about your symptoms?
Yes, lately I've been feeling a bit dizzy and I've been struggling with my vision. Also, doctor, the headache is getting worse.
Okay, well, look, that's quite understandable, and it must be very hard for you. So what am I doing there, guys? It's so simple. What am I doing?
Combine empathy.
I'm just putting them together. If you feel that sometimes you think, oh no, I'm repeating, you can put two together. It sounds a bit better. Okay, so just combining these four, you can make new ones. All right. So this is the kind of key thing that I want us to work on this week, guys. You should be focusing on this. Okay. Is it strong empathy? Is it weak empathy? Identifying that situation and then not repeating, okay, your phrases. It's very, very important. One of the most common errors that you see in the mock tests with students is they just repeat the same phrases over and over again. Okay, so we don't want to repeat the empathy phrases. Lucinda, can we try this again and I will be your patient? Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys, listen to her now. She's going to ask me about my headache. She must not repeat. Okay? So just ask me, how are you feeling, Lucinda? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Alan, can you tell me how you're feeling today?
Yeah, I've got this terrible headache and it's really quite painful.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me more about your symptoms?
Yeah, it's I've had them for a few days now and I'm not sleeping. It's really horrible pain.
Oh, that must be difficult for you. There is another symptom you would like to tell me?
I'm very worried about the whole situation because my father, he had brain cancer, so I'm very worried about that.
That's quite understandable. That must be difficult for you.
And you know, yesterday I found out that my uncle, he passed away. I was very close to him.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I can only imagine what you must be going through.
Okay, so what happened at the end there, guys? Was that correct?
No, I'm really sorry to hear that. Like,
So
bereavement.
yeah, she did say, listen, you use one of these phrases, just try and put an intensifier in as well.
Okay.
So just say, I'm really, just even if it's just one, even one is okay.
Really sorry. Okay.
But she did change, guys. Did you notice she changed? She understood that she needs to change. Also, was there any repetition? Did she repeat?
I think it was
Maybe one. It wasn't too
that
bad.
was
It wasn't so bad though. It was okay. All right. This is what you guys need to practice doing. Does this make sense, everyone? Let's try again. Lucinda's a very good speaker. Who feels confident? Talk to me. I've got a headache. It's just a headache, but you need to not repeat. Ada, ready?
Yes, Aline, can we also say, please accept my condolences? When you say my uncle has passed away yesterday.
Well, I won't put it here, but yes, you can say that for death. Only for death. If it's like diagnosis, then but yeah.
Yes.
Ada, you seem like quite a good speaker, Ada. Could you try this? Do you mind?
Can you repeat that?
I'll be nice. Ready? So just ask me, say, how are you feeling? Ready?
Okay. Okay, Aline. So how are you feeling now?
I've got a really terrible headache.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's really painful. I'm not sleeping at night.
That must be difficult for you.
Yeah, and I'm very worried because I have a family history of migraine and headache.
I understand that you are very worried about that.
Yeah, there you go. Good, good. Stop. What do we think, guys? Good?
Yes.
Really good.
Yes.
She didn't repeat. She
Yeah, that's good.
paraphrased here. Very nice, Ada. I didn't give her any time to really think. Let's have one more person try this, and then I'm going to talk to you about something else. Put your hand up if you'd like to try this. Who would like to try this? Simple. Alan has a headache. Shahjahan, go on, sir. Ready?
Yes,
Three, 2, 1, go.
hello, hi, how may I help you?
Yeah, I've got this terrible headache today, doctor. I think he's
I'm very
lost.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's
It
not
must be,
sleeping. I'm not sleeping very well.
sorry.
I think we have a delay, guys.
Yeah, it must be very hard for you.
Yeah, and I have my wife is very worried about me.
It is I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Okay, what do we think, guys? Does he need to use some very sorry? Does he need?
No, I think that's
No.
quite understandable. Like wife, you said that's quite understandable.
Yeah, that would be
Everyone in
better.
your situation is like feeling the same.
She's just worried it's not serious, but I think Shahjahan has a bad connection, so I think he knows that. Okay, guys, so this week, when you practice tomorrow, all this week, no repetition, please. If it becomes serious, change the phrases you use. Please, everyone, memorize this language. Memorize it. Learn it, okay? Charles, question.
Okay, just an addition to,
Please.
For you to avoid using these phrases as a stock phrases or memorized phrases, it's better for you to really moderate your voice, especially when you want to show the empathy. It's not just by saying those phrases, it's by reflecting those phrases in your voice. Okay.
Absolutely.
So like if you are talking about something, you can bring down your voice when you want to show the empathy.
So bring it down, so lower, yeah, and softer as well, right? Soft as.
Yes.
This is very important, guys, that it's not just the words you say, it's the way you say them. So this is something we can practice this week.
Alan.
Go on, Fareed.
Charlie's voice is always fit for the condolence.
You have already, Charles, you have a great condolence voice.
Yeah.
What about that? In fact, Fareed, I wanted to ask you, do you have one more of these? I think I want 5. Does anyone know one more appropriate? We've got 4 nice ones. Does anyone here use any other phrases?
I think.
Khalid, say one or Ada?
Yeah, I can understand that. What you are going through, or what might be the situation like.
Well, that's here. I can understand that. Okay, that's
Reassurance, Alan.
We didn't talk about this, Naz. Right, let's look at reassurance. So reassurance is not empathy, but we do need to use it. So maybe someone can tell me the difference. What if we try Zeynep? Or let's try Jasmine or Eda. What's the difference between empathy and reassurance? Just those people, please. Empathy, reassurance. Iman, maybe you can help them. Chandimali, what's the difference between reassurance and empathy? Think about it.
Can I say?
Let's give them a chance. Chandimali?
Okay. Empathy means emotional state.
Yeah, this is emotion. This is about emotion sharing, let's say. What's reassurance then, Chandimali?
It is.
If I say try not to worry, what am I doing?
You are in good hands.
It is reassurance.
Am I sharing the emotion if I say try?
Encourage them. Maybe.
Encourage. Anyone help out? Rima, you want to come in?
Yes, reassurance, I think, make them not worry.
Not worry, right? So, or encourage them to not worry, right? Encourage. So, what do we say for reassurance? Well, there's lots of very nice phrases. We can say, try not to worry. What else can we say, guys?
The good news is that.
Ooh,
The common
not to
condition.
worry. Let me ask someone different. Busra, Bibi, Ada, Naz. Give me a reassurance phrase.
Like that's normal condition.
I love that.
We can say you are in safe hands, good hands. We
So-
have experience
So that's quite
team.
normal. I love this. That's quite normal. Guys, just tell them it's normal. Even if it's bad, it can be normal as well. Okay. You said you're in safe hands, Naz. You're
Yes.
in safe hands. Does anyone know any others? Safe
Good. The
hands?
good news is that
Okay, if it's good prognosis, then yeah, you could say the good news is, if that's correct, you could say
The common condition.
Common situation, condition.
yes. And guys, normal. This is quite normal. This is a common situation or condition. That's very reassuring.
Let me reassure you.
Let me reassure you is a classic. Anything else, guys? Anyone know any others? Okay, let me reassure you. Okay, now we do reassurance when how does the patient feel when we do reassurance?
quite confident, quite happy.
No, what is the emotion of the patient? Why do we reassure? The patient is
He's concerned about
safe.
something.
They are worried,
anxious. Okay,
or
so that's
concerned.
when you use it, right? That's when you need to change from empathy to reassurance. If the patient is talking about, I am worried, I am anxious, I am stressed. Okay, you can use empathy as well. You could say, he might say, I'm very worried. You can say, I'm really sorry to hear that. Try not to worry. You can use them together, but they are different things. Okay, different language. Thank you, reassurance. Okay, now guys, I want you to study this, take a photograph or download the study document this week, memorize this stuff, and I want you to be practicing this in the speaking classes this week.
Lawrence, sorry,
Okay.
Ellen.
Last thing, sorry Farid, I just need to do one more thing, guys. I want to talk today about, remember I said 3 things. What is it? What do OET say? We need to talk about common errors. Now, we already I told you 2. Ahmet, what are the common mistakes we have spoken about so far? Ahmet.
The common mistakes, we should not use the intensifiers in a common situations.
So strong and weak, yeah? So normal and serious, not confuse that. Yeah, okay. Guys, normal empathy, serious empathy. Do not confuse the different phrases and use them in the wrong place. What else, guys?
Repetition.
Repetition.
Okay, so repetition. Don't repeat the same phrase all the time. Okay, put your hand up if you know some other errors. I've been teaching OET so long now that I kind of know all of them. Okay, but I wonder if you guys know them. So these are the most famous, most common errors. Let's try Berak. Berak.
Maybe forget showing empathy.
Getting to show it. Okay. So now, when does this normally happen, Berak?
Actually, I forget to show empathy when I focus on my speech.
Yeah, well, when you're focusing on your speech, more specifically, Berak, often it happens for a doctor like you when you are thinking about your question.
Yes.
Next question. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Often what happens is someone says, how are you today? I'm feeling very bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me more? They tell them more. And then now the doctor is thinking, okay, what is my next question? First empathy and then the question. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes, makes sense.
Not always, but usually put the empathy before your next question. Right? So you're going to say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you sleeping well? Right? or I'm sorry to hear that. How often? You can put the empathy before. So Berek, thank you. That would be a very, very important errors. Guys, normal, serious, mistaking them, repetition, forgetting. Are there any more errors?
I think
Too
use the
much
empathy in
empathy.
a wrong
Too
place.
much. Too much empathy.
Too much.
Giving too much.
Being natural.
Like, guys, this is not the Oscars. This is not Hollywood, right? You can do it too much. You're not going to win the Oscar in OET. So just be yourself. Be yourself, okay? But also at the same time, too little is also bad. Too little is bad. So I'm going to put here too much, too little. How much should we do? Rima, what's a good amount?
2 or 3, I think it's enough.
I mean,
Maybe
first thing is
5.
don't go crazy with it. Second thing is don't be cold, right? Just be yourself again, right? Think about the person you're speaking to. Be yourself. Show some emotion. Show some empathy. How can I avoid normal serious? What's the solution, guys, for avoiding normal or serious? How can I not get confused? Anyone? How can I not confuse these?
Active listening, like
Yeah, listen. Well, practice, but listen. I think about the cue card before you start. You can see already what they're going to talk about. Does that make sense, guys? Look at the card. Is there any death here? Is there any serious conditions here? Okay, maybe I will need some serious empathy. Okay, last thing. How do I avoid repetition? Naz, Shahjahan, Ahmet, Ya. How do I avoid repetition?
When we use the
We use
sentence like I can
different-
understand you, we can change the sentence like it's really understandable, it must be difficult for you.
Yeah, well, using these phrases, right?
And maybe we can use them together.
Using them together. But the main thing here is you just need to practice it, okay? So this week, guys, focus on trying to not, move through these different phrases, right? Try to practice, okay, this is my first one, this is my second one. Probably you don't need more than 3, probably, okay? But practice moving through the various phrases. That's the solution. And guys, I strongly recommend this week focus on this because that's the biggest problem. You don't normally get a lot of really rude, disrespectful doctors and nurses. Okay? This one, for example, I don't hear this a lot. Some small mistakes, but nothing's very big. This one as well. I don't hear usually some lots and lots of mistakes. But this one, I do hear lots of mistakes. Okay. One more error, actually. Last error.
Tone of voice.
This is the most difficult one. We can put tone in. Yeah, let's put tone in. So insert. Can I insert here? This can be the last one. Rows below. Tone. So tone of voice means low and soft voice. Rima, you can now demonstrate this. Rima, I have a terrible headache.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that.
Does that sound like she means it, guys? I don't know if it does, actually. Sounds a bit mechanical. Guys, look, be natural is the key thing. This is not really an error, but you've got to try and be natural when you do this. So this is the last thing. What does it mean to be natural? Above all, you have to try to be natural. What does that mean? Put your hand up if you think you know what I mean by natural here. What does that mean? Jello or Charles, what does natural speaking mean?
Be yourself,
Yeah, what does that mean, be yourself as well?
Not memorize.
Not robotic.
Yeah, not robotic, thank you.
Be human.
Be yourself, be flexible, right? You might have to change something. They might say something strange. Don't be like a robot. Listen to what they say. Okay. Okay, I'm going to finish there. Guys, please study this. Tomorrow you can come and practice in the groups. I think you will have Lawrence. Does anyone have any questions before I go?
The last one. I can understand that you are the situation. In which situation? Sorry,
Yeah, no, great. So you can say, I'll give you the, you can just say, I can understand that if you want. You can stop here, actually, if you want. Or if you want to be more high level, you could say, I can understand that you are in pain.
You're repeating their words.
Yes, are stressed. I can understand that you are unhappy, that you are worried, that you are thinking about your surgery, like that. Okay.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
I mean, if you can do this, it's much better than robotically repeating the same phrases, because you are making it fit to what they say, so you will score higher. Okay. So in fact, Fareed, maybe we can just say always like this. I can understand that you are, and then put in adjective if you want. Usually it's an adjective or ing. Okay, guys, please study this. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time, and I'll see you all very soon. Thanks, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. See you.
Bye-bye,
Thank you.
guys. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.